This is Monday morning, the 2nd or 3rd of October. It's Monday morning. And what I'm looking at here, this plant that is dead was pulled out of the ground and turned upside down like this prior to September 1st. The letters you sent me about my houses, this preceded it. The work I did on my houses was done after this was pulled out of the ground and just left like this. Let me try to get another angle. The light's not so good, but let's see if I can get it from another angle. This is what you see when you come down the street. This is what Chuck and Wayne Blair have been looking at for over a month. It probably right there is 5 weeks old. And it's still here. The deadline ran out for me on Friday morning. So I'm planning today, when I go to the mailbox, to have 2 fines. 2 letters with 2 individual fines for my house. My 2 houses that I tried to improve my yard. This has been here since I started improving my yard. It took me about 2 weeks, start to finish, to make all the changes to a lot of the changes. This was pulled out of the ground 3 weeks. 3 weeks before I started making changes in my yard, and it's still here. Wayne lives down there at the end of the street. Chuck parks his truck on the corner almost every day and goes by this. Pretty well unobstructed view to be able to see this, and it's still here. And I'm going to probably have 2 $100 fines waiting for me in the mailbox today. In fact, I'm going to take the video camera with me. And when I check the bail, I'm going to have the video camera. When I open a box, there's going to be 2 $100 fines. Okay? I'm sure of it. I'm sure that the first order of business that took place Friday morning, last Friday morning at your architectural meeting, was to serve me with a fine. The clock is run out. The clock was ticking for 2 weeks. The clock is run out. Put some paper on him. Let's put some paper on this guy, and hopefully this paper we put onto him, this fine, in a few years, if he refuses to pay for it, if he balks or anything else, we're going to be in collections. He's going to pay our lawyers' fees to collect this and all the other stuff. All we got to do is get that paper started against me. Now here's the difference. I'll get over here where the light's good. I just came from that trash heap over there. That obviously nobody's gotten the letter because it hasn't been changed. It's been there probably 6 weeks. That mess, that refuse. Now here's my lot. And my lot, I'm going to have 2 fines. I'm positive I'm going to have 2 fines waiting for me this morning. Now the first order of business that should have taken place Friday, and I'm going to walk down there now, and you've seen in other videos, okay? I'm trying to sell both of these houses. And believe me when I tell you, whoever receives it, nobody wants out of Arizona is more than I do. Nobody wants out of Buckeye more than I do. I want to sell these houses in the worst way. But I want to make sure when I sell that house, that house is in possession of all the equity that I paid for years ago. And the way I talk about equity is my privileges. Privileges that come with these 2 houses. You just saw a video about Tract A, where Tract A, all right, this is the house in Tract A. That's the house that's for sale in Tract A. And this is the house next to the house for sale that I pointed out. Now, if we walk down here 40 feet like we do over in Tract or in parcel 13, tract H, what you see is a road. It's paved different. Everything is different than here. We don't have an overhanging canopy of trees to have to duck under to walk through here. You only have to be about 5'5" and you're ducking under those bridges, those trees right there. That tree is completely out of compliance. It's in the drainage tract and it's impeding navigation of the tract. This is an access easement on the track, and I'm going to show it to you on the thing. But why I'm over here is I got an old tape with me, and I'm here to discuss what happened over the weekend. One of the reasons I'm tardy with my response to you, your response ran out on my timeline to make the response was by the 28th. I didn't make it. That's because on Saturday, on Friday afternoon, a week before, 7 days before, on a Friday afternoon, I came home and I saw 2 rusty pieces of rebar put in this walking easement and golf cart easement. It's a golf cart easement. If it's on the same deed and everything's the same, I just showed you over in tract H. Tract H doesn't look like this. I paid for what's at tract H. And as I told you on the tract 8 video, that's what I paid for. I didn't get it here. And I'll show you with other videos for the first 9 years, about 29 feet out, 29 feet from this sidewalk out to there was a tree, a monster tree, a giant. Not only was the tree a giant and impeded anybody ever walking through here driving a golf cart, but the base of the tree was 19 inches from this sidewalk up. There was no spillway like here. The water couldn't get out of the neighborhood. The only place the water was going to get out of the neighborhood was over that lot over there. But I'm here to talk about this. I saw Chuck the other day, about Monday, be out here with his little wheel measuring. That's a foot out of compliance right there. You see that? You see that measuring? That's 11 inches. I'm reading 11 inches from the sidewalk to the rock. This is for the HOA. This is for you, Caroline, whatever. This is for you. And the reason I know this is while I was doing all the regrading and work on my lot a year ago, I specifically went up to Chuck and said, what are my limits? How close can I get to the sidewalk with anything, any structure and anything else? And Chuck's answer to me, and he should know this, he said, you got 24 inches. There's a 24 inch. Now here's the boulder you wrote up to me. Okay, that's a broken thing, but there's 24 inches. I'm clearly 24 inches away from the sidewalk. Okay? So this boulder you wrote up as being part of the package that justified you sending me a letter and telling me I was out of compliance, what can be more out of compliance? What can be more out of compliance than this easement tract? Okay? What could be more out of compliance than that easement tract? First of all, it's supposed to be pitched lower. It's higher at the end than it is in the middle. All right, you got a bladder in it that makes the water run uphill. So all the water, where that tree is the low spot. That tree, the track should keep dropping, and it doesn't. But what can be more out of compliance when you compare this to my film about tract H? If tract H, if we were at tract H right now, we'd have a wide, hard packed, we'd have steel ribbons of metal into the ground right there, defining the rock from the grouted riprap. But those clearly, those two rocks were a knee-jerk response when the policeman made this man take those rods out of the ground. He came back later and put these in. There's 11 inches between the sidewalk and that rock. There's supposed to be 24 per Chuck Milosevic. He's already told me, you got 24 inches you have to set back from the sidewalk. That's clearly out of compliance. And I hope that somewhere during the meeting that generated my 2 fines that are going to be waiting for me in the mailbox today, I hope during that meeting that somebody said something about those being out of compliance. And I hope somebody said we have to generate a letter to Mr. Veskerna letting him know that he was out of compliance. Now I'm walking up to this canopy. This tree is a privacy blind. You see that window there and you see that window there? We've got privacy. They used to have oleanders here, but they got the tree, and now here I am trying to walk through here. Everybody that's all summer long has been watching this tree get worse and worse and worse. And the policy of the HOA, where I'm standing right now, is probably about 6 to 8 inches, maybe 12 inches lower than that crest out there. You see those 2 rocks? Not only did he put the steel rods, the rusty rebar rods in the entrance out by the sidewalk, he came out here and put 2 big rocks. I'm trying to get across to you. All summer long, this easement has been used by the members of Parcel 12. That whole street you see going up the street and the back street behind it, those people are golfers. And when they use this the most, and I saw it one day and I have it on video because I have my camera out taking a video, okay? I saw a golfer who lives up that street. I don't know who it was, what house he was in, but he was living in that street. He lives up there somewhere. And it's a busy day on the course. They're backed up. When you get to this tee box, you know you got a 10-minute wait. You got 2 groups ahead of you and a group on the green, so you're not going anywhere. And you live right there. I'm trying to get across to the people who are running the HOA and the golf courses. That's a convenience to be able to come here. Well, anyway, this fella saw that he had a 15-minute wait before he was going to tee off. And now, for whatever reason, whether his wife called him from Phoenix and said, check the garage door, I might have left it open, or I think I might have left something on in the house, or I want you to do something at the house on the turn. And this guy's on the 4th hole, and when he gets the call, and he goes, no problem, we're backed up today. I know when we get to the 6th tee box, I'm going to have 20-minute wait. So I'll go check it then. So he gets up here, he's a member of the community, he's a member of Parcel 12. He lives from the sidewalk where this path reaches the sidewalk, he probably lives 200 feet, less than 200 feet from there. So I saw this fella back out from his group, take his golf cart and drive it up through here. He did his chore, whatever he had to do where he worked or where he lived. I mean, when he went to the house, whether it was to go to the bathroom or to get something like a refreshment or to do a chore for his wife, or maybe his wife wanted him to come and stop and help her lift something, he had the convenience of being able, while he had to wait, to be able to go in to his house. Does anybody understand that? Now, one of my biggest gripes here is those rocks are there. I'm not going to touch them. Now, Chuck came out Monday morning after the police were here and the police report. He came out, the stakes are gone, and Chuck, all summer long, has been parking on that corner. So he knows anything that's not, something's out of place out there, he would know it. Chuck came Monday morning and didn't come and remove these.